Good morning or good evening, whenever you might be listening to this, and welcome to the very first edition of the Empire of Nerd News. This is going to be a new segment that we're going to start that we're going to do every great once in a while when something big happens or there's breaking news. And it's going to pop up here and there whenever we receive the news, and we're going to try to get up as soon as possible. And so it won't be as regular as our regular shows. We try to get up every Friday, and we've been doing that so far. So these will be up, maybe once a month or whenever things happen. I am your host, the PokéTrooper, and unfortunately, Doctor Snake cannot join us tonight because he was actually in a slight fender bender tonight, and he's okay, and everybody involved was okay, but he had to be home to take care of business and make sure he's okay, and so if I can just ask all of our wonderful listeners to please go and just show him some love and send some positive vibes his way. And you can do that by actually doing it on our last post on our Instagram. Yes, that is right. We now have our own dedicated Empire of Nerd podcast Instagram page. So you don't necessarily have to follow myself or Dr. Snake on our personal pages. You can just follow the show's page, and we give updates on when the new episodes are going to drop, and what the topics might be. We drop some memes on there, maybe lift up your spirits if you're having a long day, or in these next couple weeks, try to bring some joy into your life. So go ahead, do that. It's going to be Empire of Nerd Pod, and there's periods in between each word. And go ahead and just, go on our last page, give it a like, send some love for Dr. Snake. He will be back Friday for Friday's episode. So, he won't be gone too long. And now let me get into a couple topics for tonight's episode. So, first things first is we do have the final trailer for the Black Widow movie. And, in this trailer, we do get a really good look at the Taskmaster, and he is looking so badass. He's off there firing, arrows and all this stuff, and he's fighting what's his face from Stranger Things, and Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson looks amazing in the movie. Super sexy, super cool, super strong. She's fighting off other members of the Red Room as they're coming in and shooting up her apartment and all that. So it looks really fun. It's going to be a really great popcorn flick. I'm really excited to see this. That's dropping soon. And the other one I want to cover real quick is, yes, we finally got a demo for the remake. Not any remake, but the remake. Final Fantasy VII. Really good stuff. It takes place during the Mako pump explosion, when they're bombing it. And I mean, it's really, really amazing gameplay. It looks beautiful, looks gorgeous. And it's really fun because it actually gives you a couple ways to play the game. You can either play it in more traditional sense where, the characters are fighting and defending on their own, and you're free to make your choices as you please, So more of like a kind of like a turn-based. And, you're able to open up the menus and use your abilities, your potions, your magic, things like that. Or you can play a little bit more of an action-paced way, So you're actually swinging, Cloud Sword yourself or shooting Barrett's gun, and it's really cool because it's really quick, really fast action. You feel the hits behind every swing, and then when you want to open up your menu to use your abilities and stuff like that, it does kind of like this bullet time mode where everything kind of slows down and it's still moving. But, it gives you time to look at through your menus, and the menus are actually really quick to go through. It's not too crazy. And, it's getting a lot of positive reviews right now. People are really, really digging it. Some people are kind of saying it's a reskin of Final Fantasy 15. It came out a couple years ago. And I can see where they're going with that, but I mean, it's really fun. And honestly, I was playing it and I was actually getting some really big flashbacks to the first Kingdom Hearts. I felt like, the way it played and everything, like, it just has that feeling to it, like the way it controls, the way it looks and moves. It brings back a lot of like nostalgia for that very first Kingdom Hearts game. And I mean, I really like it. It's really fun. The main difference being that, Mickey's not in this one. And honestly, kind of downside, you can't like jump on your own. So it's more like in the vein of like Legend of Zelda where, he'll jump on his own when he needs to, and and all that. But I mean, it's really fun. If you haven't played it yet, it is on the PlayStation Network. It's free to download, so go ahead, jump on over there and check it out. And I mean, I highly, highly recommend it. And so now on to the main topic of today's breaking news. And that's, I mean, it's kind of everywhere. It's hard to miss, but coronavirus, it's out there right now, and it's actually affecting us in a lot of ways that we didn't expect. So I mean, like right here in SoCal, I mean, there's they're closing down a lot of places. They're closing down clubs, the gyms, the restaurants. And right now, the restaurants are strictly like takeout. There's no dine in or anything. So you got to go order your stuff. You leave. Starbucks went ahead and just removed all the chairs in their cafes. So you can't just sit in there and use the Wi-Fi anymore. Like you normally would. But it's also affected us in different ways. I mean, and no one's immune from it. Like even some of our favorite actors, they've contracted it. Like Tom Hanks and his wife. They were filming in Australia, and he got it. And so they both did, and so now they're both in quarantine right now, trying to get over it. And even just today, Idris Elba announced that he had contracted it, and so him and his family are now in quarantine. So we're just gonna hope for the best for our favorite actors. That they're okay, and for anybody out there that might have had it or have it. We hope all the best for them. Again, positive vibes for them. But like I said, it's affecting us in different ways we didn't think. Obviously, along with like the restaurants, gyms, and clubs, the theaters are closing, and it's to the point that this last weekend, it's been like a whole bunch like record breaking lows for movies. They're only raking in like maybe 10 to 20 million. I mean, that's still nothing to laugh at, 10 to 20 million dollars, but still when your movie costs 100 million to 200 million to make, like that's you're losing a lot of money. you know and other than that, though, I mean, it's like it's even delaying movies. Bond got pushed back to November. Fast 9 got pushed back to next year. The Batman, the new Robert Pattinson Batman movie, delayed. They want to try to avoid like getting, I guess, spreading this around. And for the movies that are already done, like, I mean, it's like it's more like they just want to, again, avoid spreading the disease by not releasing in theaters where people are going to congregate and might possibly spread it or contract it or whatever. But I mean, at the same time, if everybody's afraid to go out, your movie's you're gonna lose a lot of money. We just seen that, like I said. And on top of that, like, another big thing is that the conventions are getting canceled left and right, and not just conventions, but like concerts and things like that. Like, Foo Fighters are postponing their tour. Chris Stapleton's postponing his tour, and we've had a lot of cancellations. I mean, it started with SXXW. They canceled E3, which is like the biggest gaming event of the year. That's where everybody makes their big announcements. But even then, E3 was kind of in trouble because a lot of the big guys were pulling out. Sony was pulling out, and and if Sony's not there, they're not going to go ahead and show off PlayStation. So possibility. We did post it on the Instagram page that E3 is going through a reimagining of sorts, and possibly they're going to start doing digital digital shows, kind of in the same way that Nintendo does theirs with their Nintendo Directs, where they'll do like maybe a Pokemon Nintendo Direct or an Animal Crossing Nintendo Direct, something focusing on what's happening then and there. And so the way it's going to work is probably they're going to have they're going to have like digital shows going on, and then each company is going to have a different show for that week, and or that day. So it'll probably be like a week long thing. They're going to have a specific company each day, and they're going to live stream the whole thing, and everybody's going to be able to see it. And I mean, hey, that it is what it is. And in the most part, people are just over here freaking out for toilet paper and hand sanitizer, right? So it is what it is. It's it's going to work its way out. And you know, other cancellations, I mean, the biggest one probably is WonderCon, in Anaheim. They went ahead and just canceled the whole thing, and it's really crazy because WonderCon is probably at least here in Southern California, the second biggest convention of the year, second only to San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm sure, if WonderCon's canceling, SDCC might cancel as well. And, possibility that some of the other ones, and, New York is probably going to cancel, New York Comic-Con. Dragon Con might get canceled, I still have high hopes for Anime Expo. Hopefully not. That's happening in July, but with the way things are, they said they're expecting this to run until maybe July or August. So, hey, possibility we might not be going this year. It really sucks. I was really excited. I was going to take my nephews, and I mean, it was going to be really cool, but again, first and foremost is the health of the public. We want to make sure we get this thing in lockdown and taken care of. But yeah, that's how it is, and we're gonna have to get through this together. And so, just try to be good to each other, people, and get a handout to those who are around you, your neighbors or friends or something. Phone call or even playing online. Next time you're on Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever you're playing, just, hey, how's it going? How are you doing over there? Is it crazy? Zombies yet? No? Okay, we're all good. So, give a handout. And if you have an older neighbor, help them out. They've got things going on too, and, they need help getting all their groceries and stuff. So just help them out. Be good to each other, people. Be cool, be friends. And you know what? Hey, we'll cut it here real quick, real sweet. Don't want to make this too long. And so, again, like, comment, follow, share, all that good stuff. And go check out our new Instagram page. It's growing right now, so we don't have too much content, but it's getting there. So remember, Empire of Nerd Pod, period after each word. And hey, there you go. Thanks for joining us. Catch you on Friday, guys. Smell you later, nerds.